Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and this video is going to showcase a way for you to get a bunch of these malignant hearts. Now, I do think this method may get adjusted somewhat soon because it's a really good way to not only get a bunch of these hearts and have a good stockpile, which is going to unlock some of these really cool builds that you want to do no matter what class you're playing, but also you're going to get a lot of these wrathful hearts, which are the ones that are the most rare, and usually they are really impactful, and you want at least one of them in your build for lots of different builds that are floating around out there. So I'm going to show you how to get a bunch of these on your account. Okay, so first up, you see this bench with the green leaf icon on it up there on the mini map. When you're going through your quest journal, which I already did it, so I can't show you, but when you're going through your quest journal, when you dive into starting season 1, you're going to have seasonal quests, and there'll be a little quest line to go through that takes about an hour or so from start to finish, where it'll have those little green leaves next to it, and it's going to involve going around and interacting with this bench, and then working with Cormond to go around the map to different objectives, and then it will culminate with a boss fight at the end, and that will be the end of the quest line, and that boss is going to drop a guaranteed wrathful heart. So there's a way that you can farm this over and over and over again to be able to get a good stockpile of these wrathful hearts. Which means when you come up to that final quest, you want to be careful, and when you finish it, like when you kill the boss, don't interact with the NPC, because what you can do is leave the game and then go back to that location, and you'll be able to do it again and farm these hearts from that boss over and over. But if you complete that final seasonal quest, you won't be able to do this method because the boss will already be done in your quest line. So just make sure when you kill the boss, don't interact with any NPCs, reset the game, and you'll be able to farm it again. And obviously, it wouldn't be a Chosen video if we didn't bust out the good old Telestrators. So I want to show you what I'm talking about in terms of the location of this last quest, so you know when you're headed there and you don't mess up this method. So when you're going through that seasonal quest line, you're going to go through, you're going to do, I mean, depending how fast your class is and all of that, it's going to take you somewhere between like 30 to 45 minutes probably to get to this point if you're starting from scratch. And eventually you're going to get a quest that takes you up to the northeast of Salvaging in this area right here, and that's where you're going to enter that like burial chamber and make your way on through it to the end site. It's called like the ritual site, where you're going to fight that final boss for the seasonal quest in Varshan. So when you get to this point, after like 30, 40, 50 minutes in that seasonal quest line where it's taking you up to the northeast of Salvaging, that's when you know you're close and you're entering that burial site to start the ritual. But if you accidentally go too far, it's okay. If you accidentally do the whole thing, you're like, oh my goodness, I didn't know I was coming up to the last quest. You end up fighting Varshan. It's okay. You can go ahead and kill it. You just can't interact with the NPC, which is going to finish the quest line. So it's okay. But this will be at the point when you're getting to that final stage, which I'm going to show you right now. And this is going to be footage of what that boss fight will look like. So if you find yourself in a place that says that the ritual site up there on the top right, then you know you're at the location. And what it's going to do, it's going to take you like just a little bit northeast of Salvaging, and you're going to go into like a little cellar type dungeon, and it's called like the burial site or burial chambers or something like that. But you're going to go into there, and it will take you to this ritual site where you'll fight the final boss, and that's the footage I'm showing you right here. You'll kind of interact with the NPC there, which is okay. At the start, you can interact with the NPC. Then the NPC is going to start like lighting different torches. You're going to have to kill a couple different spawns of mobs. You have to click on each one of these little torches and light all 3 of them to initiate the ritual, and then you're going to fight the seasonal quest line final boss, and then at the end of it, it's guaranteed to drop one of those wrathful hearts. So right now I'm showing you the footage, that way you know what it's going to look like when you're getting into it. You fight these clusters of mobs, and then right here is the boss spawning, Varshan the Consumed, and then you take down Varshan, and you are going to get a guaranteed wrathful heart to drop right there. And then you can go ahead and don't do anything right here. Don't like interact with any NPCs or do anything after you get the wrathful heart. Right now you got to click on the wrathful heart at the end, and then it's going to pop right there. You got your wrathful heart. Now at that point, just reset the game and go back into that dungeon. You can get back into it in about 45 seconds or so. You just gotta like leave party, back out, reset game, whatever you want to do to get back in there after you kill the boss, and you can farm up like a wrathful heart every minute and a half or so in total. Well, I mean, I guess this part takes a pretty long time. You're waiting on a lot of dialogue and stuff, but you could probably farm one every 2 minutes. Like, you could probably farm 30, 35 an hour of these Wrathful Hearts, and you get other hearts on the way while you're doing this. So you're going to be getting some of those other colors to fit into your builds as well. So if you're looking to farm up a good stockpile of hearts, this is absolutely the best way to do it. And when you're going through and farming up these hearts, there's a couple different things you want to look for. So the level up there where it says like brutal heart and then the item power and then the level, that's going to affect how much armor is on there. So that can really help you get some tankiness in your builds. You want those higher level hearts. If you see one that's like level 2, level 1 or whatever, and you have a bunch of these level 4s, you definitely want to get them replaced with some of the higher tier ones. And it's not necessarily going to affect the rolls themselves, like the percentages, a whole lot. Like, see, this one here is level 1. So I would want to sacrifice this because this caged heart of the Picanha at level 1 is only giving me 53 armor. And then one of the same color, that's level 4 right here, is giving me 275 armor. So that's over 200 armor on one slot. So if you go through and update your hearts, these higher tier ones, after you get to the point where you can get those higher tier ones to drop, that's going to be 600 more armor just from your jewelry. And that's insanely impactful because most armor nodes on like the Paragon board are usually 50 to 100 or so. So this is like, so 600 armor is like spending 7 or 8 Paragon points. So big deal to go through and get your hearts updated to these tier 4 hearts and scoop up as much armor as you can. And then when you're going through and you're salvaging these hearts, it's going to give you an opportunity to get a lot of the different crafting materials that will give you a lot more customization when you're going through these different seasonal mechanics and you want to interact with crafting some of the invokers or the different stuff here involved with the seasonal bench. So this is definitely a method you're going to want to sit down and do for a little bit. If you have already completed the seasonal quest line like I have, I already completed it. So what you want to do is find a friend who hasn't completed it, have them get to the final boss, and you can farm it together as a group. But this is going to be solo friendly. If you haven't finished the seasonal quest line yet, just get to that final boss and then you will be good to go. I don't believe you need a group for this. I was doing it in a group, but I think you're fine to reset it and go there as long as you haven't finished the seasonal quest line yet. But like I said, if you have, just find a friend who hasn't and you'll be able to farm this together. So this is definitely something I wanted you to know about here on the channel and a way to get up and running with the different seasonal 1 mechanics as soon as possible. So it is time for me to get back to the grind. Lots of build guides and content coming here for season 1. Been grinding pretty hard. I'm level 82 right now, hoping to get to level 90 by the end of the day. That would be amazing. Maybe 85, 86, I don't know. I'm definitely getting to 85 today, but hopefully 90, and have lots of fun videos in the works. So it would mean a lot to earn your sub down below if you enjoy daily Diablo 4 content, and I will see you soon in the next video. Thanks. Peace.